You guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would come and have a chit chat about weight and just tell you where I am, because I don't think I've done a weight update for about a year. The last time I did a weight update a year ago, I was about 84 kilos. I'm not far off that now. I'll put on the screen what that is in pounds and stone, etc. Today I am 83 kilos, and that's me put half a kilo back on. I was 82.5 in the last few days. And so I'm not really in much of a different place than last year. I suppose I'm a pound or two less, which is something, isn't it? But I had a couple of realizations over the last sort of few months, and I think they'll be quite helpful, and in some ways, and in some I just need to accept things. So the first realization I had is that I'm very, very harsh on myself about dieting. I'm very, if I get into dieting and recording everything, healthy eating I should say, because I've never really want to follow a diet specifically. I just try to be healthy. I'm quite strict on it. You know, that's how I managed to lose weight for my wedding. I was 3 stone less than I am now. I was about 10 stone then, just under 10 stone actually, 9.5 stone. And I was going to the gym every day. You know, I can be very, very dedicated when I've got a plan of action, if you like, that works for me. And the other side, conversely, I can be very hard on myself when I'm not sticking to a plan, when I make a plan to be healthier, to lose weight, and it doesn't happen. I can be very hard on myself. But I realised that actually it's not me sabotaging my weight loss for the last few years. It is my migraines. And Kev's always been brilliant. My husband's always been brilliant in saying, you know, don't forget with weight, you know, don't forget you've got polycystic ovary syndrome, which makes you hold weight around your middle. Don't forget that you're on these drugs that make you put weight on, which I am. I'm on quite a few different medications that either make you hungry or make you put on weight. But I don't like ever to use those as a reason or an excuse or whatever, you know. But also he used to say, well, you know, you've got a migraine daily. Like, that's really just all your focus should be on. Like, don't worry about the weight just now. But it can be very difficult because I've had some changes in my heart health, which I'll talk about in a separate video. But long story short, my heart rate is too high and I'm on medication to bring it down. And one of the things that would help that obviously is if I lose weight and if I am better at cardio. And so, as I said to him, it's difficult because I really want to look after my heart, and this has been 3 years with these migraines now. But I don't know why, but something just sunk in about the migraines, that's what's stopping me, because I noticed a pattern of on migraine days. I already know that food helps. That's something that's known with migraines. Cravings happen when you get a migraine. That's one of the symptoms. And also just eating a lot of anything helps. I worked with a girl that she was the same. Her and I used to talk about it and say it's crazy, isn't it? You know, you could eat like a 3-course dinner and that can help with your headache, and nobody knows why that helps. And so on days where I've got a bad migraine, it's normally like mid-afternoon when it's at its actual worst. And I don't really have any rescue medication just now. I don't have anything to take to make it better. You know, some people can take an aspirin and it can make it bearable. I can't take aspirin. Some people take triptans. They don't do anything for me. I've got my codeine, but it doesn't really do anything. Sometimes it makes it worse. If I go and lie down, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. So I'll normally go and lie down and see if that helps. And then if not, my next option is to eat. And I try to have something healthy, like I'll have a bowl normally of no added sugar Alpen, and I'll put some almonds in it or something like that. It's never enough. I have one bowl and I'm like, okay, I can slightly feel a difference, but I need to eat again. I can't wait till dinner. But then even still at dinner time, I'll have my full dinner. And it's only then when I'm kind of full, if you like, that I'm like, okay, now I feel some relief. And that's what happened yesterday, and that's why I'm back to 83 where I was 82.5. I put weight on very, very quickly. I can lose it quickly when I put my mind to it, but I put weight back on very, very quickly. And that's what happened yesterday. I had a bad migraine. I had my bowl of Alpen. I still felt like I wanted something. I'd had a carrot and hummus to see if that would help. It didn't. I had another bowl of cereal and I was like, okay, now it's at a bearable enough level that I can take Watson out for a business walk, you know? So that's the first problem that migraines give me, which I've never really acknowledged, that, you know, because I always just felt like you can resist cravings for food, but these cravings come from a neurological condition, and that helps me get out of pain, and that is what it is, you know. And it still sounds a bit like an excuse to me, but I'm just trying to accept that it is what it is. That is what happens, and it makes me feel better to eat, so I need to concentrate on at least not being in pain. The other thing with that though is that once I had those 2 bowls of cereal, I knew that I would be over my calorie limit. I knew that I wouldn't be losing weight yesterday. I hadn't been able to do any exercise, and I'm an all or nothing kind of girl. Like I said, when I put my mind to something, I would go to the gym every day, be careful every day, including the weekends, you know, and be really quite strict. But once I fall off the wagon, I fall off the wagon big. So if ever, even when I was losing weight up to the wedding, we would have, you know, everybody has bad days, don't they? We're like, you know what, I just want a pizza from Domino's. We would get a pizza from Domino's. I'd also get crisps. I'd also have a drink. I'd also have some chocolate. You know, I would definitely go all out. But you can recover from that if you just have a slip and then get back up again. But with my migraines being like, well, I had a good week. I had a good 5 days last week. I had 4 out of 5 days were good. But then I've since had, this is day 4, I don't know how today will be, but I've since had 3 days really severe. And so for those 3 days, I'm not able to do exercise. I can't get on my bike. I can't go out for walks with Watson a lot of the time, certainly not a big walk. And I eat too much, and it just makes me feel like, what's the point? You know, there's no point in counting my calories. I know that I haven't got enough calories because I haven't moved enough. I would have to eat very, very little in order to stay the same weight or in order to lose weight, and that just isn't going to happen when I've got a migraine, because like I said, food helps. So one of the things I decided is that I'm just going to be kinder to myself about my weight. You know, it is what it is, and I can only do what I can do. And when I'm feeling healthy and when it's right, I know that I exercise. I think that was the other thing, because over Christmas, this is where the kind of aha moment came from. Over Christmas, I had a couple of good days, and that was unusual. I had a couple of good days in a row. Normally, if I have one good day, I don't necessarily immediately jump on the exercise bike or immediately go for a huge walk. Well, maybe I go for a big walk if it's family time, you know. And I went for quite a few walks over Christmas. And I said to my husband, yeah, you know, I'm not lazy. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm so lazy, I've not done any exercise. And Kev's like, you're not lazy, you've been in pain for the whole week, you know. Like I said, I'm so hard on myself. But I said to him, oh my goodness, I'm not lazy at all, because the minute I had 2 days in a row, I was like, right, okay, it's okay to get on the bike, because, you know, my neck's been okay, I'm not going to trigger it. And off I went on my exercise bike. Or off I went, and I was like, no, I'm going to take Watson on his walk today, that kind of thing. And so it really showed me that my true personality when I'm not in pain is one of dedication, is one of being able to lose weight, exercise, be healthy. Because the other thing is time to make dinners. Once I'm feeling better, I will make dinners, and I will plan out dinners. But when I've got a migraine, so you're trying to plan what to eat, I just write down whatever is something that Kev can cook, and that, you know, is easy for me to, I don't have to figure out, well, what we're going to eat, what time are you finishing work that day, blah, 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 you know. So yeah, that was my aha moment, that, you know, if you can just get on top of these migraines, you will be able to get healthy, you will be able to lose weight. I just maybe need to be patient, ride out this nearly 4-year-long storm of migraines, get to a point where they're managed, and then I can address my weight, you know. So that was my aha moment. But the other thing that I thought about, or not even thought about, when I had this aha moment, I thought, well, why don't I, instead of trying to do keto, because I'm not 100% sure about keto, and especially with these recent, I've had high cholesterol, high heart rate and high blood pressure again. And I thought it's not doing great things to my numbers. I'm not really in a place to fully do keto anyway, because like I said, with keto, I mostly do the cooking. I certainly do all the planning. There's a lot of preparation with keto, and a lot of work actually to cook it and whatnot. Like one of the meals we would have would be this kind of like a shepherd's pie, but with cauliflower instead. And we would cook it between us, and I would get the cauliflower mash done during the day, but you still have to cook the cauliflower, break the egg, put the egg in, put the butter in, blend it all together, grate the cheese, get the cheese on top. You know, there was still quite a lot just to that one bit, and then Kev would do the meat later. I generally don't cook meat. And I just knew that I don't want that on my list of to-dos when I've got a migraine. So I thought, let me not bother doing keto. let me just eat, and as long as I'm eating really low carb, because low carb works for my polycystic ovary syndrome. Well, I have polycystic ovary syndrome, and I also have hyperinsulinemia that some people with polycystic ovary have, which means that my sugars are all out of whack. And you know, I've been on diabetes medication before, and everybody in my family is diabetic, so there's clearly blood sugar issues, and what works best for me is low carb. So I said, let me just have low carb and try and be healthy, you know, and just cut out the crap, and maybe that will yield results in terms of losing weight. But it didn't. You know, I was definitely eating low carb. We were having like spaghetti bolognese, and I was having literally about 5 pieces of spaghetti, but I would have cheese on it. And I was just like, you know what, this is not working, because I need to just go back to basics and figure out calories in and calories out. So that was my second kind of aha moment. The way that I lost weight from my wedding was literally by recording how many calories I was eating and how many calories I was burning. And that's how I lost weight. And it already started to work, because the first day I did it, I was amazed, because although I knew that avocados were high in calories, I did not realise how high. And so for my lunch, I was having, for 2 days a week, I have a salmon fillet for my lunch with an avocado. My God, it was like 600 calories for lunch, you know. And I like to eat a lot of snacks. I have a banana. Now I'm having a banana to take my tablets. I used to have nuts. But again, the calories were massive. It's not that I've been eating completely crap. It's that I was having nuts to take my morning tablets, nuts to take my lunchtime tablets, nuts to take, pecan nuts to take my evening tablets. I was having, you know, this salmon and avocado for lunch, things that are really high in calories, and I just didn't even think how much it was all adding up to. I have peanut butter in my shake in the morning, and I was getting to the point where I wasn't measuring it. I was just going, oh, you know, it's supposed to be 30 grams, but it's nearly 40 grams. I'm not going to dig it out, you know, and I was having that, and that adds on a huge amount of calories. So I was like, what I need to do is go back to doing calories in, calories out. It's not something I really wanted to do, because I thought it was a right pain. But actually, it's only a pain. I use MyFitnessPal, by the way. That's what I used back at my wedding 8 years ago. It's only a pain for the first little while, or if you're always having different things. But once you've kind of populated a week, if you just repeat those dinners, then it's pretty easy, because you can copy from one date and paste it to another, you know, so that's really quite easy. When it's most difficult actually is if you're making your own dinner from scratch, you know, rather than if you've bought something like a joint from M&S, then you can just scan the barcode and it tells you how much is in that, you know. So that's what I started doing, and when I started that, I was at 84 kilos, and I'd got to 82.3 I was at the weekend. We do a weigh-in on a Sunday. So I had lost 1.5 kilos, which is like 3 pounds, and kind of went crazy on exercise last week, because like I said, I had 4 out of 5 days in the week last week that were good days, and I went on my exercise bike all of those 4 days. Kev was getting annoyed that I was doing too much. He was like, you're gonna trigger your neck and, you know, head for a fall, which did happen because I did too much on the exercise bike, and then ended up, you know, all weekend with a bad head, all weekend and yesterday. But I feel good about it, because like I said, it's showing me that you can do it. I just need to learn some moderation in everything. You know, I need to learn moderation in everything. And I lost weight that week despite finding these snacks that I just loved. And I, as I always do, convinced myself that I was going to buy this packet of crisps. They were sweet potato snacks from Marks and Spencer's, and they've got brown linseeds in them. And I was like, I'm going to just have a portion of those on Friday, a portion on Saturday, a portion on Sunday. I ate the whole bag in one night. So like I said, I did slip up. Thankfully, I slipped up that night. So then I started afresh again the next day, and it didn't affect the overall weight loss because I was doing so well, you know. But it showed me that I can do things, but moderation is just not something I'm good at. You guys know I'm the same with like makeup, skincare, whatever I do, I use loads of it. You know, I use loads of shampoo, loads of conditioner, and I'm the same with everything. Even Kev was saying about, like, he says, oh my God, even in your car, you're like, the heat is either on max or it's on minimum, there's no heat. Same in the house, it's either roasting in here or it's freezing in here. I'm just so extra, I have to have everything one or the other. And I need to learn moderation. I need to learn moderation in exercise and, you know, just everything. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I didn't record. I ended up not bothering recording the rest of my calories yesterday because I'd had those 2 bowls of cereals and just knew it would take me over. But I'm starting again today. I'm not feeling perfect today, but we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I'm trying to be kinder to myself. And when I have these days, I wish I knew how to do this. Let me know how to do this. How can I stop myself running around like a crazy idiot when I have these days where I feel well? Because the other thing I've done is I've knackered my knee and I'm now limping. I've knackered my knee from doing the bike, and I was doing that and also going out for walks with Watson. I said I would take him on one of his big walks in the morning, and I did 2 walks with my husband, big walks with Watson. And so with all of that, I've knackered my knee and it doesn't seem to be getting better either. But I have a day and I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I literally never stop from when I get up at 6:30, 7 in the morning to like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I go to bed at 9. Is anybody else like that, where you just don't sit still? Kev can't believe it, and actually we've been comparing steps because he got an Apple Watch and I got a Fitbit, and he couldn't believe it that one morning he took Watson out for his hour walk and we compared steps, and I hadn't taken Watson out for a walk or been on my bike, but I had done the same amount of steps as Kev, and he was just like, I knew you walked around a lot, he said, because since working from home I've heard you, like you're up and down, we've got a long hallway, you know. But he said, I just cannot believe that I've gone for an hour's walk with Watson and we've both got the same steps, and I wasn't doing anything to get those steps up, you know. That's just me, I'm always on the move. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble a bit now. I thought I'd come and tell you about these little light bulb moments that I've been having and what my intention is. So my intention is to continue to use my Fitness Pal, use my Fitbit, you know, to assess how many steps I'm doing. I can't use this for heart rate anymore, for like being in the zone or anything, because of the drugs I'm on. But as soon as I'm on top of these migraines, I'll hopefully be able to report some weight loss and some continued weight loss rather than up and down all the time. So that's everything. Thank you so much for listening today, and best wishes. Let me know what you're doing weight wise. Did you start a diet in 2021? Have you stuck to it? What's your plan? I'd love to know. Thank you so much. I'll speak to you again soon.